Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
So this is class ID, class AWS, and password is 123456. Can you make the class AWS bold and 123456 bold? In the document, make class hyphen AWS bold and 12356 bold so that nobody gets confused. Yes, just bold it. Yes. Yes. Now go to lab. Click on provision lab. Around 2 minutes. Now do it for 8 hours. Yes. Confirm. Provision for 8 hours.
Okay. Fine, guys.
And please ensure everyone that you provision the lab for 8 hours, because if you provision by mistake for 6 hours, the lab will get shut down and whatever work you've done will get automatically deleted. So please ensure that you provision the lab for 8 hours. Otherwise, whatever work you've done for 6 hours, it will go in vain.
So I was trying, but I am getting an error saying that class ID is incorrect.
Maybe you're not Can you share your screen, please?
Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes. So it is capital AWS, not small AWS.
Oh,
It's
is
case
case
sensitive. Yes. No, small WNS are small. Just copy paste from the chat. I've already messaged there. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, nice work.
Just click on provision lab. Yes. Yeah. By the time I was showing you the number of credits to having, so that Himanshu, can you go to the labs, please?
Yes.
Just refresh it over the top right, top right, top right. No, not the. That's okay. Yeah. So this is the lab has already started. Even if you by mistake you just provision the lab for 6 hours, you can extend the lab for 2 more hours. Can you see the button, extend lab button? Okay, yes. And in the top right, just in the top left, your lab is running. There's a arrow coming on the, no, just Himanshu. In this page, in the lab page,
Mm-hmm.
see on the time bar, Yes, your lab is running. There's a below labs. There's an arrow. There's an arrow. Left side. Left side. Yes. Left side. Top right. Top left. Yes. 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 Just click on the small button. Yes. So you know this number of credits you just see. You can see here. Okay. I think it's for 3 days. I'll extend the number of credits. Don't worry. Okay. I forgot. I just did it for 2 days. No problem. And just click on more details on the lab, Himanshu. In the Access lab, there is a one tab named More Details. More details. Tab name More details. Yes. So now try to click on View Console. Click on View Console. Yes. Yes, you'll have to copy the user ID. Take an IM user type. Take it. Mark as IM user. No. Mark it as an IM user first. Yes. Click on IM user. Now no. First copy that ID. Yes. In the more details. More details. Yes. Click here. Copy that ID. Give it there. No. Yes. Now put it here. Next.
Okay, right. And guys, you can see here. So this is this process to log on to Amazon Web Services console. Okay, you have to provision your lab and then log in with the IAM user. Let me know if anybody is not able to access the provision the lab and access the AWS lab.
Where I will get the IAM user?
After logging into AWS,
Okay, log for IAM user,
so I
you
have
have
the
to.
ID, but what about name and password?
Yes, Ravi, can you share your screen?
After registration, at which step are you right now?
No, I registered. So when you say register, right? For register, I created my own account. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine. You have to register and create an account there. And after
Correct.
logging in, you have to join a class.
Okay, so in the class ID should be common for all the folks, like class AWS and password.
Right. This is
okay.
Class ID and password is common, but provisioning has to be done by everyone.
Yeah. So, got it. Okay.
Himanshu, I am unable to log in. It says user already in class.
You are already
in class because what I did, I opened Chrome on my Fidelity machines, so I logged in successfully over there. Then later I moved to VM and then start doing the same, but I'm getting the error.
Right. So don't try to do it locally because most of the Fidelity machines eventually face some kind of network issues. Okay. Hence, you have been given a Windows machine to work with.
Correct. Now, what should I do for user already in class error when I join class?
Yeah. Just share your screen. We'll look in. So let me give you the access. Please share your screen. Swami. Okay, you can cancel it. I think you have already created it. So we can see your AWS account is running. Cancel this. Yeah. Cancel it. Yeah, click on the AWS account running. AWS account running, what you see.
Click
right
on
there.
this green dialog box here.
Yeah. Now
yes, View Console.
What should be the account ID?
Yeah, you have to go to course and labs and there click on more details. There you will find it. You click on course and labs, the tab that you have open. There you will find it.
Here, right?
Course and labs. Akshay, can you guide it? Yeah, here can you see more details?
In the Access Lab tab, yes, more details. Copy the account ID.
Here I need to paste.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Now go to the console. Yes. Username and password. No need. No need for. You're already in the view console window. Just copy paste the username password. Copy the username there. Copy
So it will be
username
available, right?
there. No, just close this window. Close this tab. Yes. Copy the username and password. No, not this tab. Just copy username. Copy username. Copy username.
Directly.
Username. Yes. There's a copy symbol is there. Yes. Copy username. Yes. Now put it here. Similarly, copy that password. Just close this window. Copy this password. Yes. Now sign in. Now you're able to access the lab.
Okay, thank you so much.
Fine, guys. I think you all have been able to access AWS console, right? Is there anybody who is not able to access it? Need assistance? Okay. Thank you, Akshay. I think this is sorted now.
Okay. Sure. Thank you, Manchu. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy.
Fine, guys. The other thing that you have to do is please open up this URL on your Windows machines. This clicking on this, accessing this document will give you access to this training notes doc. Okay, and this is where I'm going to write all the exercises and hands-on. You can. This is a Gmail URL, so you'll be able to access it from the Windows. Let me know once you are able to access it.
Can you post it on chat, Himanshu?
Somehow I'm not sure. I'm not able to type it on the chat.
Can you post it?
Okay.
The docs link, can you share it?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not able to type it on the chat. I don't have. There's some issue with it. I can see few of the people can access it now. Okay, great. Good guys, now you all can access the doc. Fair enough. Getting back to the discussion that we had. Now, we did discuss about the advantages that DevOps offers, and we understand eventually what we are trying to achieve. Moving forward, let's try to understand some of the very basic uh, properties of the DevOps teams. So one of the key property of DevOps teams is that they'll look to have an open communication, as transparent communication as possible, keeping it very clear about the responsibilities, about the roles that they perform, and discussing the product throughout the life cycle. Now, in most of the SDLC cycles, we never discuss the entire cycle together, right? And in here, the entire overview will always be towards the entire picture. Uh, each of your architectural diagrams should always focus on end-to-end deployment and not about any specific use cases, because eventually whatever you do is going to affect or impact each stages at every point in time. So if you miss out on any phase, then that could be eventually an issue. The second key thing is the incentive and the responsibility alignment. So you have to assign the roles and responsibilities very clearly. Now, remember one thing, once you start adopting DevOps, it doesn't really mean that you will not have developers, or you will not have operations guys, or you will not have QA. That's not the case. Everything will continue to be there. Okay. The only thing is the way they work will be a very different approach. Probably you will have different tool set to work with more automation uh, as the center idea. This is how you can start to implement DevOps. So you start with the executive sponsorship, then you decide what all cycles you can implement DevOps in, and then you achieve the target and reiterate it. Now, it's not that you have to start full blown across the board, but start with automating one thing and then you can move forward. These are the some ways by which you or anybody in your team can get very good idea with DevOps. So you have to first of all understand the tool set that you are going to work on, be it Jenkins, be it Chef Puppet, or be it anything else. Once you know the tool set, it's always good to get the credentials, some kind of a certification which validates your knowledge. And once you know that, you will be able to work in production, and uh, probably after a certain bit of amount of experience, you can manage the entire ecosystem yourself. Fair enough, guys. We'll come back to more discussion on the theoretical side of DevOps. Okay, so let's feel free to ask me any questions that you have till now on whatever we have discussed. Okay, if there are no questions, then we are going to start with the first thing, which will be the first practical thing that we are going to start with, and that is how to work with Git. Okay, now Git is a source code repo framework. Okay, a lot of new generation code repositories use Git as the framework. The advantage of Git is that once you become familiar with Git, you can work with a number of source code repositories. So we'll try and understand it. The second thing, the other thing that you have to know about is once you have access to the AWS Management Console, okay, here are the things that we are going to make sure always. You only have access to one of the regions in here, which is North Virginia. Okay, remember this. And this AWS account will get wiped out towards the end of the session, but every day you will get access to it. So yes, we are going to do all the hands-on in there on that console. Now, this is a fresh AWS account wherein we don't have a lot of things. So first of all, you have to check if you have a VPC already available. So go to services, go to VPC, and see if you have a default VPC there. Now, if I go to my VPC, look, I don't really have anything in there, right? Now, I'm going to create a default VPC so that we can create a virtual machine in there and we can use that for Git operations. Now, look, it's not there, right? So what am I going to do is go to VPC and create the default VPC. So I'm going to create a default VPC. How am I going to create a default VPC is when you click on actions, right? There will be an option called create default VPC, right? Just click on this. It will automatically create it. Just click
Can
on
we
create.
follow and create it for assessment? Or
Yes.
can we follow and do the same in our machine as well? Because
Yes,
even
you
I
have to
don't.
create this VPC.
Okay.
Click on action and create default VPC. Fine, guys. Everybody done with this? Now let's do one thing. Let's create a virtual machine. And this virtual machine we are going to install Git on and we'll get on with the hands-on. So a lot of things that we are going to do now onwards, we'll be doing everything on the AWS for our practical demonstrations. So a little bit of AWS familiarity, which was a prerequisite, will be needed. Rest for all these steps, I'll be mentioning in the doc here. Now let's go to EC2 and create an virtual machine for ourselves. So go to EC2. And create a virtual machine of Ubuntu 16.04 and connect with this. Okay, so this is what you have to do. So I'm going to create a virtual machine now. Look, I don't really have any virtual machines here, so I'm going to create one. Now all the AMIs are given, so I'm going to select Ubuntu 16.04. This is the machine. I'm going with the default free tier machine, T2 Micro. I want one virtual machine. It is going to go into my default VPC automatically, nothing else. Add storage. We are going to create 8 GB machine. Add tags. Then configure security group. So I'm going to select the default security group, which is already created. And review and launch. Now it is asking me to create a key pair. So I'm going to create a key pair here. And launch instances. Now my virtual machine is getting created. I'm going to call it Git VM.
What is the storage we have to give?
Just select 8 GB with the default storage.
Okay.
About the key pair, what option do we need to select?
See, if you are going to use putty to connect, okay, you can select, or if you would like, you can even connect using the browser based console. Okay, so you can select ppk there, and then you can download it. So there are two options. You can first create the key here, okay, and then you can use it. So you can first create a key, download it as ppk, okay, and then you can use that key while creating the instance, or you can use the browser based console like this, which does not really require a key. So when you select the VM, click on connect, and if you don't want to use a key, you can use the browser based connection.
Okay, but proceed without a key pair should I choose for the browser based, right?
No, you can create a key pair, anything that you want. Right? That should work.
The recommended now is to use a browser-based connection, right? Or do we have to install anything on the VM?
No. For browser based, you don't have to install anything.
Okay.
For browser based, we can proceed without a key pair, right?
No, create a key pair anyways. It will not let you do that. Create a key pair anyways, and then you can use this browser based connection.
What will be the key pair name?
Anything.
Whatever you like.
Hey, Manshu. So my instance is created in zone 1E. So does that make any difference?
No, you can call it anything. It doesn't really make a difference.
Okay, so there's nothing related to availability zone, right? Because it's in a different zone. So that's why my concern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing really.
Thank you.
So guys, now that you have created a virtual machine, okay, connect with this VM. Okay. Now, before you connect with this VM, you can, if you are going to use ppk, people those who are familiar with AWS, you can download, you can use putty or other things. Otherwise, people those who are not using any SSH utility, they can directly connect with the machine. So I'm also going to use an SSH utility from my local system.
No. Are we allowed to download on VM? That is, like, if I wish to use putty or something, am I allowed to download?
See, for you, the VM is your Windows VM. Okay. Do not try doing anything from your local VM. Yeah, you are allowed to download there.
Yeah, I'm just asking about that remote Windows VM. We can download that, right? So no restrictions on that.
Right. That machine does not have any restriction. That VM you can set up anything that you want for the training purposes.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.